Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Bad League Bad Podcasts show. I'm Zach Fuller. I'm here with Ben Dunn. We are back, baby. What's going on, Ben?
Not a whole lot, man, but it feels good to be back. It's been a while. We got a
Hell
little
yeah.
busy there, middle of last season. Couldn't really find the good days or times to line up to do so. So, you know what? We made time now. We're bringing it back. Everything's great, man.
Yeah, living the dream.
As Kyle Busch would say.
Everything's great. Last
Everything's
season
great.
was successful for me.
Yeah, champ.
So that's fun. Last season for you, I think you ended up finishing fifth in the points?
Yeah, sixth. I think I had a bad race. I think I had a bad
Oh,
last
that's right.
race,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
gave
Christian
it,
won
I
the
gave it to
race.
Christian. Mm-hmm.
He won. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah,
checked away.
he went out there and did it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's in the
Yeah,
past.
not
so
much I can do about that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean he ran a great race though. He beat me to it,
Absolutely.
and then I didn't even do that good in that race, anyways. But anyways, we're here more to talk about season 14. We had the Clash last night.
Yeah, man.
Which is always an adventure. What did you think about the on-track action last night?
Well, we were, getting back in the Xfinity car. We took a season of Gen 4 back to Xfinity, and I think it was interesting. I think it was a while. It had been a while for us pack racing in these Xfinity cars. So I think a lot of guys at the beginning were kind of a little cautious, and it was, kind of easy going. And then there was a point that I remember begging Jack, who was the only car behind me, to please, can we get out of here? Because we were like, three. So it had a tale of two, types of races there, where it was kind of easy on, early on, and then towards the end of the race, we had some wrecks. We had guys, going for 3 wide gaps and things like that. So it really, in a matter of 30 laps, such a short amount of time, by iRacing or oval racing standards in general, like 30 laps, it changed completely. It was fun. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean the sense of urgency is always there in the Clash. Like 30 laps is a very, very short race, and I think they usually go how last night went. Like there was some good racing, but we probably had like 4 cautions or something.
I think
one
at the
green, white,
very
checkered.
end.
So
yeah, we did have 4 cautions. Good call.
Yeah,
5 different leaders and 14 lead changes in 34 laps. So
I
would say definitely pretty eventful.
Yeah, for sure. The Xfinity car was really good. I don't know if that's because our super speedway mindsets were pretty spoiled last season at Talladega or what, but I thought it raced really well.
Yeah, I think I didn't even think about that until right now, that could be playing into it. That the last taste in our mouth of a super speedway race was Dega and the Gen 4 after they kind of ruined the package.
Yeah, they really did. But I mean, it was super stable, and you could get runs and make pushes and whatnot. So I think it sets up really good for the Sedlo 100, which unfortunately I'm going to miss for the second season in a row. Very upset about that. But
and you did not lock up your point last night, unfortunately.
I did not. Yeah, that was the whole reason. Really, why I was excited for that last night. But dude, I think the Toyota is legitimately slow on the super speedways. Because the lap I ran was, where did I start? 14th. Like, there's no way. I feel like there's no way the lap I ran was 14th. But
yeah,
whatever.
I think that was one of the things that I took note of as well, is that it was just kind of, it was odd. Like there were laps that we were looking at guys and kind of just not really saying a whole lot, because it didn't look like they had good laps coming together. And then those guys are jumping to the top of the leaderboard, and then the guys that are doing what we thought was good, which is like holding that bottom line and those guys were not running so well. I did it myself. I held the yellow line. I mean, I made a mistake in turn one, but the rest of the lap I felt was pretty clean, and I wound up
Mhm.
at seventh, right? And I'm like, geez, no, I mean, I think turn one hurt me, but I didn't think it hurt me that bad. So, it was odd.
Yeah, it was weird qualifying. I don't know if it was the setups on the cars because the skirts definitely would drag when you got close to the line. Um,
Hmm.
I mean that was a thing that confused me about mine is I kind of went up above like like kind of a quarter of a lane up, and I thought that was going to be fine, but because I did a little bit of I probably did like 4 or 5 practice runs like before I joined the practice session, and
Yeah,
yeah, the lap just didn't come together. But I mean, it's Daytona qualifying, so who
right.
really knows what goes into it? Like, it seems like when we do this, sometimes, like you said, the guy wrapping the line is perfect, and last night it seemed to not really be that way. So
It was also weird too because it felt like to me almost like it seems like every person's lap looked different with the way they set up lap
yeah,
one and the way they ran lap two. Like, in the past, it's kind of just copy paste of like run the top line, paint the yellow so you can do it the best. Like this was really like, some guys were above the white line up by the wall, in between the white line and the wall. Some people were like splitting the white line. Some people were a little lower than that on their first lap. And then the second lap they were, half a lane up and yeah, it was wild. It was kind of interesting to see. I always love doing that, the
yeah,
clash format. I love the added pressure of having everybody have to watch you. We had a situation last night where the one of the new guys got drawn first, had to go out
that was
first.
awesome.
His first laps ever in CRS, he's got to do under pressure qualifying, or maybe just get it out of the way. However you want to look at it there. But that was, you know, it's always a fun way to kind of kick things off, just to get everybody together, have a little fun. Last week of having fun before we all get serious.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and he didn't do too terribly, I don't think, in qualifying. So,
No, no,
as
no.
well as our other rookie Johnny Brugg, who locked up his front row starting spot for next week, along with Nick Sargent, who
Yeah.
came out and lit up the qualifying times in his first race back in a good amount of time.
Yeah, I think it was definitely all of last season and maybe some of the season prior, but
Yeah,
very happy to have Nick back, and what a way to come back rather than just to just come back and just get the pole, and he officially has one more point than everybody else. He has the points lead as we sit
mm.
here right now with 1 point over everybody else at zero. So,
Yeah, and
uh,
we learned about halfway through last season that the bonus points do not factor into the drops. So
mhm.
he's keeping that point forever, which is
Yeah, if you earn them, you earn them. Yep.
yeah, that does not go with the
Which I think we
drops.
landed on as a good is a. I think that's better than taking them away, because at least
Yeah,
you know, if you go out and get a fastest lap in a race, but get caught up in some wreck, you deserve that point. I think. Same
yeah,
with qualifying.
yeah, definitely. So do we have anything else on the Clash, or we want to kind of get into the season as a whole?
Yeah, we can preview this season here for sure. I think the only other things that I could really think of last night was just it's gonna be fun to see what happens next week, because our guy's gonna kind of take that as I need to hang out in the back. It gets a little chaotic up there. Our guy's gonna be going for it. It's gonna be fun. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
A
hopefully
lot
you
of good
guys.
pushers I learned.
Yeah, for sure. This car is really nice to push in. It'll be interesting to see like if there's going to be green flag stops and whatever because like I said like the sense of urgency with a 30 lap race is completely different than a
Hmm.
100. So like those kind of three wide moves on lap 5 or 6, like is that going to happen in the 100? I don't know. Seems like sometimes I mean these are really hard to predict, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be super fun to hear about. I guess I'm not going to be there, but um, do we have a prediction for the Sedlow winner? Way too early.
Hmm. Well, I probably should have done this research. I want to. I always forget. I think we've discussed this before. I don't know if anyone has ever won the Clash or won the Clash and the Sedlow. I'm trying to think. I feel like we talked about this before, and
Yeah,
it may
I
have happened.
I uh, I don't know if that's happened or not.
But that'll be what I'm keeping my eyes on. I think Brandon drove a really good race last night. He got himself up there and then just was impossible to pass. There was a couple times where he was bouncing back and forth between high line, low line, doing a really good job of protecting and saving all that as well. So yeah, I think why has he scored a lap down? Anyway, I think I think I just noticed that. I think the finishing order is all screwed up on the website. Anyway, I'm in season 13. That's why. Anyway,
Ah, that'll do it.
I think that's my way too early prediction. Is I think after
Brandon
seeing what I saw
Combs.
last night, yeah, I think Brandon can go out and get it done there. He led 15 laps last night and drove a damn good race. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's won both. I'm just doing quick research here. Nope. Season 3, the first season of The Clash. This is
Oh,
the only
wow,
one. Joe Kraut.
of course,
He won both. Yes. Um,
of
and
course.
apparently he's racing as well, from what I saw in the league chat. Maybe,
Yeah, I
potentially.
was
It's
thinking
hard
the
to
same thing.
believe.
He's look, I put him on the
Hard to believe
grid,
him
so
sometimes. So,
yeah,
um,
you never know. How
yeah.
many over under on laps? Go ahead and place your bets now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna
For
put
Joe
it at
Kraut, no.
14.
This will
Yeah,
be this will keep him good and engaged. He won't get bored at Daytona.
14 and a half is the line. So
14 and a
place your
half.
bets.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
sports
Well,
books going off history there.
hopefully
But
he hopefully he gets up there.
But yeah, the Sedlo, it's going to be great. Nice segue back to the schedule there. The
Yes.
Sedlo is going to be a good time. It's always a good time. As you mentioned earlier, pit stops. I always rave about one of my favorite things on the super speedways is when we get the opportunity to do pit
Mm-hmm.
stops and have those groups and see where the groups come out and how well everybody is, or how good everybody is at pitting together and staying together and being able to exit together. That's all huge. And sometimes we've had packs in the past where it's 8 and 8 or 7 and 8 or two decent
6 and 7.
sized groups. Yeah, two decent sized little two decent sized groups. And I think I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
One thing I know we saw at Talladega, that was kind of an underwhelming race in general, but I want to say it was Devin. He switched voice channels mid race,
Oh, that's right.
which is
Be-
something when we started doing the separate voice channels. I pointed that out. Would somebody switch channels if they get with this other group? And it worked out. Every driver that he was in the group with was in the other channel, so he switched over. And I can't remember where he finished, but that was super interesting. Like, do we see that?
yeah,
Um,
right.
I mean, I think you definitely could. Um,
Absolutely.
but let's get into the schedule as a whole. Do you want to talk about real quick before we go into this, how the car vote and everything went for you guys? Like, tell the
Yeah.
story of how we got to Xfinity
Yeah, and
or
it
O'Reilly, I
was a
guess now.
pretty well, whatever. It's as of until iRacing updates it. I'm calling it the Xfinity. I might
Okay.
just call it the B car. Just make my life
Yeah.
easier. Just but yeah. So it was a tight race right out of the gates. The votes all came in, and it was two cars that got majority of the votes, and then the third option was just behind, about four or five behind the next gen. So the Xfinity received top votes. Next gen received the second most votes. I think those two were separated by like six or so. Um, and then the truck was a couple behind the next gen car. So those three were the clear and ahead, favorites. There
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a single car that received anything else near it, which and as we do our voting, 3 2 1, you put your first choice has a weight of 3 points,
Right.
second has 2 points, third 1 point. So yeah, so not a ton for other cars outside of that. I think the Indy car was the next behind the truck as far as like what people wanted to race, which uh would be kind of an interesting, maybe we'll have to explore that idea in an off season or something like that, just
Yeah.
a little Indy season. But yeah, um so that was that, and then we had our revote with top three, and um, after we tested them all out, which was I think a good thing this year. I think we'll keep that up in the off seasons ahead,
Mm-hmm.
where we run these races and try to recruit as well as test out some cars. And so that all went well. Everything came back in, and it was a dead even tie between next gen and Xfinity, and then we realized there was a vote in there of a person who is not driving um, full time at all. So
Ah,
that vote was nullified and decided the Xfinity car. So
okay.
that was kind of how we got to where we are. To peel back the curtain there, so the Xfinity car was the favorite by one vote. The tiebreaker again was the uh, unnecessary vote. I don't want to say unnecessary. That's a mean
Well,
word to
I
the
did
person,
think
but
about that. Like, I wondered how many people were voting in these, like that aren't even
mhm.
racing, and how that might affect things. But
Exactly. Well, so now that was something that we kind of looked at as like because if we were facing yet like a tiebreaker, we honestly didn't have a backup plan.
right,
You know, I kind of was under the mentality of maybe I'm just speaking for myself and not having a backup plan. Maybe I'll just do that just in case those other
sure,
guys had some ideas, but because I think they might have had some ideas, but um, yeah, like I didn't really have a backup plan. I figured there was no way it was going to be a tie, and it was a dead even, dead even tie there. So, and then we even took the truck votes, and we're like, hey, if you had to pick one or the other, they went 1-1. So, all right,
oh wow.
okay, that's good. Yeah. So
Oh,
that
only
didn't
two
help at all.
people
So
voted
that,
for the truck.
yeah. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a process, but we were happy to land on the Xfinity car, and I think I think either way, next gen or Xfinity, I would have been excited. I think Xfinity, we kind of know what we're getting. We've done it before. We've been
Hmm.
here. You know what you're going to get. It's going to be good, and everybody is familiar with that. And then on the other side, I think the next gen would have been a pretty exciting opportunity for some different, closer racing and to a new challenge to a lot of people. So um, I think that one's gained a lot of steam over the last two votes, and I think
Yeah,
we'll see how it does in the next time around. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're next gen racing here in the near future, just because of what I've seen over the last two voting cycles.
yeah, it's definitely gained some traction. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, as the expression
Yes,
goes. It's been a
absolutely.
while since we've done it, but the Xfinity car is probably like the most popular and uh, like dare I say, best oval car in iRacing,
Yeah, I'd
objectively.
probably agree.
So
I'd probably agree that it's the best as far as just like pure, as far
general
as like the
racing,
pure overall stock racing. It is the probably the best as far as that goes. So I wouldn't have been, like I said, I wouldn't have been upset either way. I
yeah,
was all for either one. Um, and yeah, we got Xfinity, and we're going Xfinity racing, baby.
yeah. Well, let's go over some of the tracks we're gonna be racing this season.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the things I noted when I was looking at this, I think I explained to the guys that I'll explain to everybody else the way that the schedule was comprised was there was a lot. I took everything that I got as far as recommendations. We want this track off. We want this track on. Tallied up all those. Made sure that the tracks people wanted off were not on. The couple that got the boot, some even had multiple votes of people saying, "Please don't put this on the schedule again." So it is. So I listened, and then I also took a lot of the new votes from a lot of people. Again, most of the tracks that I added had multiple votes, so that
hmm.
was very. It almost made my job easier. We have 9 tracks on the schedule this year that were not on it last year, which is pretty proud of that. Pretty happy that I have that flexibility to do so. Kind of the length of the schedule allows that, where I don't have to crowd it, and I can put some tracks aside and use them again. So
Hmm.
yeah, 9 new tracks to schedule that we didn't race last year, which is exciting. That's half of the points paying races, so are on new tracks.
What was an example of a track that people were like, "Please don't put this on"?
um it was actually there was more than one person who said they did not want Michigan, but would rather it be Auto Club instead of Michigan. So they
Oh, really?
there was a couple people. There was one person who had just said just don't put Michigan back on, and then there were two others that said no Michigan Auto Club instead. So that was easy. We like having the big 2 milers on the schedule anyway. So that's awesome. And honestly, I prefer Auto Club over Michigan from a driving standpoint. So
Yeah.
I was all for it. And then one of the other ones was Iowa, and I think that was just
Oh,
a
yeah.
little recency bias with the new scan and the
The
way
new
the
scan
setup drove there,
is really bad.
and yeah, the way the car drove there last year or last season, it was I didn't really like it myself either. I probably wouldn't have put it on, to be honest, again after last season. But people saying that just kind of reassured that
Is the
for
old
me. And
scan still in the game?
that's a good
Do we
question. I
know?
don't know if they have like a quote unquote legacy. I would assume they do it with every other one where
I
when they do
think
the
it
new
is.
scan, they might have like Iowa 2011 and
Yeah.
then the new Iowa or something like that.
I
But then you got to worry about setups. Does the new Iowa setup drive at the old Iowa? Like,
right.
it's a pain in the ass with some of those old
Yeah,
tracks
they do
sometimes.
have the old layout. I mean, I would have been cool with the old one, but that's I mean, we have a lot of good tracks anyway, so I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
a bad thing. But yeah, the new scan, I mean, I was saying it all throughout the race, and I mean, I ended up winning that race, but I really did not enjoy driving that new layout that they did with the new pavement. But um, that's really I can't even you can't even really blame iRacing for that. That's really more NASCAR's
No.
problem. Um,
Yeah.
but in any case, let's kind of run through it. Some of the new tracks that
Right out of the
weren't on
gates.
last season. We got Kentucky, Road America, New Hampshire. I don't think we raced Pocono last season.
We did not. You're right.
Um,
That's
we
Yep.
got Gateway, we got Richmond, Auto Club.
See if we can
We
get the
did not
last.
race Bristol,
There's
and
one more.
then am I missing one more?
You
Oh,
are
Atlanta.
missing one more.
Atlanta's a points race now. Yeah.
Yeah, there we
So
go. Yep.
Echo Park Speedway.
And
Um,
a third super speedway was requested as well. So that's kind of how we landed there. I had some requests for New Atlanta as well as people voting on, we'd like to see a third super speedway race. So
yeah, I think that's good. I mean that gives the opportunity for more people to win, obviously, because those tracks are sort of a different skill set.
especially Atlanta,
Yeah,
it's
Atlanta's
a
its
it's
own
a whole different
beast,
thing.
and I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of become the third super speedway. You used to really only have two, but that one's sort of become the third one. So
Oh, how
yeah,
could you forget about iRacing Super Speedway? That awesome NASCAR game track.
yeah, I don't own that one, but that would be really cool if that ended up on our schedule somehow.
I think I've driven like two or three races at it when it first came out, and then I don't think I've touched it since.
Yeah, I mean that would be sick, honestly.
Yeah,
Add a fourth super speedway, that'll be on the vote next year.
I don't know
Um,
if it's ever gotten a vote. To be honest, I don't know, and like I think if we did a count of people in the league that own it, it's probably very low.
yeah, I'm sure. Um, but I forgot what I was gonna
I I,
say.
I think I'm excited. I'm excited. There's a lot on here that have not been on here in a while. Some of the ones to highlight there, Kentucky. We've only done one race at the new layout of Kentucky, and it was in season 8, so it's been a little while with that. Road America. I mean, everybody loves that track, and we haven't done it since seasons 4 and 5, so that one's been a real long time. Um, Gateway. Last one was season 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of these tracks, it's been a long time since they were off the schedule, and I'm happy to see them back and to go race them. And I think, like, I don't, I think some of these, you look at like a Kentucky season 8, that was next gen. So we've never done a race at this new Kentucky in an Xfinity car. So that'll be new.
Yeah,
Road America was Xfinity. Gateway, we've had one Xfinity and one next gen. So we're back to the Xfinity there. Um, New Hampshire, we've never raced in an Xfinity car. We only did next
oh,
gen, and what was season 11? Was that
trucks.
trucks? Yeah. Um, so that's that, and then Auto Club Atlanta Bristol were season 12. So we've done those before in this car, um, but yeah, I'm excited for that part. The fact that there's a handful of races or tracks we haven't been to in a while, and I know our Wisconsin boys are probably happy about Road America, and that Nick is
Yeah,
our pole sitter for the Sedlow is probably very happy about New Hampshire. So, and I have a little
definitely.
soft spot for Gateway. So
There you go. Just going through some of them. Kentucky, I remember the next gen race. Aaron legitimately ran third all race and finished third.
that's right. He did
Um,
run a really good race there, didn't he?
yeah, he like I had it pulled up. Yeah, he passed me and Nick like towards the end of the race, like completely legitimately, which is like probably one of his best races ever, I would think.
Damn, good
Um,
for him.
like legitimately pace wise. I know he's actually won a couple, but um, yeah, that's what comes to mind when I think of Kentucky. Um, Road America, like, welcome back, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
what a great track. In my
Happy to have you back.
opinion, now this might have slightly changed since I drove Road Atlanta, but
Mm,
to me, Road
let's hear
America
it.
is like the best road course
Mm,
we have in this country.
ugh,
Um,
it hurts.
yeah, I mean, well, Road Atlanta is great too. I've never driven in a stock car though, so
We'll just say the best track in America starts with the word road, and then
yes,
we'll just leave it at that.
there you go.
Yeah.
Um, another point on the road course races, back to laps.
Yes, that's right. That's
That's a
right.
huge dub, I think. But just to clarify for the listeners, y'all are still doing the 50% chance of a caution, correct?
Correct, correct. We will
Okay.
still have that, and it will just be in a window of laps, which we'll share as we get closer. But it
Okay.
will just be a window of laps versus, a time window like it had been. So it'll still be the same thing where it's not going to happen in the certain X amount of first laps or X amount of last laps. We just have to figure all that out and convert kind of how we did it before from time to laps, which I don't think will be too difficult. So,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, we're doing 30 laps of Road America, which sounds like not a lot, but those laps take a while, man.
Yeah, it's at least a 2-minute lap, I would think, in the
Yeah.
Xfinity car, so that's basically an hour. Um, and then on since we're talking about road courses, 50 laps at Watkins Glen, it's like a 70-second lap, so that's probably going to be about a little over an hour, I would think, for 50 laps. So,
Yeah. They're last year we because of the time thing, that was a big thing too, was having to like add extra time to account for this caution. Like it's just the time was just uh, it's I was over it. So I was
did
just like,
did
guys,
people really like the timed races, or I mean,
no, I
did
don't think
nobody
I
really
really don't
care?
think I don't really think we had any input either way. I think a lot of this was really just like us managing it. It's a lot easier
Yeah,
because we can do things like if we do get that random caution, just caution laps don't count and make sure people. It's gonna have a hard time for people to go a lap down at Road America before a caution comes out,
right.
right? So, also I wanted to say I looked it up. Our league record time at Road America 2:12.229 by Jared. So it is at least like you said a
Mm,
2-minute lap. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a lengthy little race, but our road course races have kind of been, I would say, on the shorter side in the past. So these are definitely, I think,
yeah,
going to be the longest that we have done. The last time the last two times we raced there, we did 30 laps. So we're doing the exact same thing that we had done there. So, um, that's cool. And I'm trying to see how many laps we normally do at Watkins Glen. Yeah,
I
last
think
couple
it's
seasons.
around 45-ish, maybe
So how many are we doing here? What did I put in
50.
there? Yeah, so we've done 46, 42, and then we had 37, 37. So those were some of the shorter ones. But early on, we've ran 60 laps, 61, 60 laps. So nothing too crazy, nothing new.
Yeah, there was one race, I think it was season 8 at the Indy Road Course, and that was like a 65 lap race. And that race took forever, man. um, but I loved that, obviously, but I don't think very many other people did.
Makes
Um,
sense, makes sense.
yeah,
You're right. It was
obviously.
62 laps.
Give
62
me
laps.
give me 100 laps of Road America. I would be in heaven. But
Yeah. The 6 hours of Road America. Yeah.
yes, add it. Uh, so you said something. Is it confirmed caution laps aren't counting?
Yeah, either they won't count or they will be accounted for in the lap count. So we're gonna
Okay.
have 30 green flag racing laps
Okay.
guaranteed.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
um,
Interesting.
I just want to do the test and make sure that nothing gets screwed up because part of me is afraid that if you turn the caution laps off thing, when we do if we do pit stops under that caution, it won't change anyone's position. I think it freezes the
Yeah, I think that's
field,
right.
and then it'll have people passing people and what to clear flags. So if that's too much of a pain in the ass, and all we have to do is just tack 3 extra laps on the end of the race, that's fine. Like if
Well,
that's
can you have green white checkers on? I guess that would
uh
that wouldn't matter. That wouldn't
yeah,
matter because
yeah,
the
you
caution
can,
wouldn't
but
come
we
out
would
that
we
late
would need a
anyways.
caution late. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Um.
So that'll so yeah, so nothing too much is changing there with the fact of going back to laps. It's going to be a very similar procedure
Sure.
and all that stuff. Just lap count instead of time count, which could be a fuel thing. I don't know. Could come in. Who knows?
I would think just off of like a hunch, you could probably get like 20 to 25 laps on fuel at Road America.
Mhm.
Because these cars tend to go around 100 miles on fuel, and I think it's like a 4-mile track, so, I would think you probably get at least 20, 25 laps, so I don't think that would be a huge issue.
No.
Um, but moving on, next new track is New Hampshire. Um,
That's gonna
that
be
one's coming
that's
back for the first time in a while.
I think that's gonna be good. I think another thing to notate is, the discussion between the admin team is already started. It kinda started last night of, this is gonna be our warmer season. Last season was in the winter time, and all the weather
Mhm.
was set to realistic. There'll be a little more tweaking with that, and this is gonna be
Ooh,
aimed at a warmer season. Um, not everything's gonna be piping hot, but there are gonna be some select races where it'll be a little warmer than others and a little more challenging. So, where those kind of fall, we'll see. And that could really mix some things up in this car, especially because the last time we did it was, these cars were pretty planted at most of the tracks that we went to. So
yeah.
free everybody up a little bit and try to get something. But like my thought on that is, man, like if it's decided that it's somewhere like in New Hampshire and it's toasty, oh geez, like flat track, hot track, middle of the day. That could be a good time. We got a lot less night racing this season than we've had in the past.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah, only not including the
Kentucky,
Clash, yeah, there's only 4.
yeah, yeah, like straight up starting in the night races, we got Kentucky, Richmond, Bristol,
Mhm.
and am I missing one?
Kansas.
Kansas, and then I didn't make that night on Sim Racer Hub, but yeah, then yeah, so and the sunset races are going to be a little toasty when we begin, go into the night. Um, Another change this year is that those races are going to have accelerated time, so that we will actually be able to experience the change that you would see in a real race at like a Darlington or a Charlotte. So we'll start earlier in the day than we have in the past, and actually get to go into the night, maybe a little deeper into the night with the time sped up.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited for those, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
yeah, I think that's cool. I had that idea at some point last season of like, why have I never? It was one of those like, why have I never thought of this type of things?
Yeah. Yeah, because before it kinda starts, like, right before sunset.
Like 20 or 30 minutes before
Yeah,
sunset
and then
because
you
our
end at
races are
night,
only
but
so
the
long.
track doesn't change too much.
Exactly. So this will present a little bit of a different challenge of cooling, and honestly, that all that stuff will be accelerated. You'll have to almost adjust a little quicker because
Yeah.
it's going to go a little quicker from hot to cold as the sun sets. So, but it gives us the freedom to run a little longer during the day, and get to experience that change a lot more than we had in the past. Because I mean, in the past, if you think about it, we were experiencing the change uh, technically, I guess, at the end of practice
Yeah.
and through qualifying, and then by the time we got to the race, like you said, there wasn't a whole lot because the sun was already almost down, and I would have to set it to start at that time just to ensure that we did, go from day to night, even though it was really going from like late afternoon to actual nighttime.
Yeah, I would say, like, last season, the biggest challenge with those was qualifying because
Hmm.
the track would change, and with the track state thing, which I don't know if that's, still going on this season, but, um
Yeah, it'll be probably not as aggressive as it was last season. It was kind of just something that I was messing around with and whatnot. But I will come up with a sheet and share it again.
nice.
Like I said, I don't think it's gonna be too crazy this season. Probably a lot of carryovers.
Yeah. But that
Nothing too
for me, the
crazy.
qualifying was always the toughest because at the end of practice, obviously, the track's really worn in, and, you probably depending on how the track state was, like, if it was gonna completely reset for qualifying, I would do my qualifying practice at the beginning, but
Mhm.
then if it was carrying over, you do it at the end, and it was a unique challenge to
Well, and,
prepare
and
for qualifying, but that was always the toughest part from,
one
like,
of
without the accelerated time.
one of the other things that I had the thought of is last night the way that I set the clash up. We did our qualifying at 2 p.m. and then the
Yeah,
race was at 8 o'clock at night. And I've thought maybe we got four of those night races, half of them. This is just a rough thought. This is not official yet, but half of them, we're going to qualify at 3 p.m. and then practice during the day, and then the race is going to start at night.
yeah,
Kind of similar to like you see that kind of happen in F1 or when NASCAR had practices, they would have happy hour during the day, even though it was a night race. Kind
yeah.
of kind of mirroring that and experimenting with some things like that. So that could be something to watch out for. Is we get to a Kansas and all of a sudden we get to qualify at 3 o'clock in the middle of the day and it's hot, and then we take the grid and it's the lights are on. So
Yeah, no,
that could be really
I like that
tough to get
because I
used
mean
to.
that's more realistic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then also all your practice is done during the daytime, and now you got to go into the night, and everybody has to adapt on the fly,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of what I was looking for. Which is kind of what I was trying to do last season with the track status.
Mm-hmm.
Just creating some sort of a different challenge where people have to adapt a little more on the fly and figure stuff out. So that could be another way to kind of challenge people in that sense.
For sure. Moving on, kind of closing out this first portion of the season before the All Star race is Pocono. Um,
Hmm.
80 laps of Pocono. Pocono's, I feel like, so underrated.
I love it.
It's a really fun track to drive, and yeah, 80 laps is quite the long race.
Yeah, and
Again,
it's one of those places you gotta be on your shit, man, because between the corners, it's so long that like if you don't hit these corners well, like you're hurting yourself on the straightaways, whether that be in qualifying or in the race. You gotta you gotta hit those turns well, especially that last turn because the front stretch is just so long.
yeah,
That yeah, it's important to be on it there. That's part of the challenge of that track to me is how do I take these corners and set myself up for a really good exit while also not losing a whole lot on entry and still hitting the corner properly? That's the challenge that I find with Pocono that I love. Yeah, I personally love that track. I put it up there in the Michigan Auto Club category as far as the big tracks where
mm-hmm,
you really got to keep focus on momentum and tire wear. Pocono's getting rougher and rougher as we go. And I remember the last time we went there, it was not the greatest. It was not polite tires. So
yeah,
uh, that'll be a good one. I love that track and I'm looking forward to it. And
yeah. It always turns into a really good strategy race.
mhm.
80 laps, I would think, is probably a two stop there still. So, but it feels like that.
It's 200-mile race, so, and also it could be
It
one of
feels like you
those.
could save some fuel and maybe do a one stop. So,
Yeah.
80 laps. That'll be. I know last season it was 91 laps. That was definitely a two stop for sure. But like I
Hmm.
said, they usually go about 100 miles. So 40 laps would be 100 miles at Pocono. So could you save some fuel and do a one stop there? That one's definitely
Yeah.
gonna be interesting.
That'll be fun. Also, the one we just kind of glazed over in the top half there that is Dover. I didn't get
Oh
to race
yeah,
Dover last year, so I'm very excited about it. But yeah, it's kind of a usual suspect on the calendar. I did get, I think, there may have been a singular vote against Dover,
really?
but yeah, but
Who's
being
voting
a
against Dover?
that's what I'm saying. Being a regular on the schedule, that was a little harder for me to take that one vote. If it was a track that I just kind of swapped in and swapped out, and I saw the one vote, it'd be a little different story. But man, this is we've been here a ton of times. It's up there with one of our tracks we probably raced the most.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, Dover's.
We have 11 races
Wow.
there. We've raced it every season since season 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say yeah.
So
Surely one and two were the only ones we didn't go to that. Yeah.
Jared
Dover's
also has the
Dover's an
track
awesome track.
record in the Xfinity car at Dover.
Yeah, Jared's pretty fast. Breaking news. Um,
Yeah, shocking development.
yeah. Again with the strategy and like lap links. Last season, I know it'll probably be different with the Xfinity car, but 145 laps last season. If that race went green, which it didn't, but if it did, that was going to be such a cool battle between a two stop and a one stop because you could
Hmm.
make it on fuel for a one stop, but the tires were like on the brink of death by the time you had to pit. So um, hopefully it goes the same in the Xfinity car. I would imagine it would be pretty similar. So um, yeah, so that's kind of the first like half of the season wrapped up. Then we go to the All Star race, which has not been
TBD.
announced. Yep.
TBD.
So that'll be with Owen and Judd. I think they're gonna sort out what the All Star race is gonna be. Um, and then we get to the second annual
Oh,
CRS Bracket Challenge, which last season, like, it was a lot of tracks that were very much like skill based, I would say.
Mhm.
This season too, like the Charlotte and Richmond, the last two rounds are like drivers racetracks, which is definitely what you want. But we start out with Atlanta, like in real life, which in real life that kind of ruined it
Yeah.
because it took all the heavy
But at the
hitters out.
same time, it kinda made it awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think like, and I don't even
It
know.
gave us Ty Dillon versus Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, like that's fun and stuff. But I think when they had the idea for this, it was like your superstars going for it, which doing Atlanta first took away. However,
Mhm.
in our league, we kind of want that chaos because
Yeah.
that is more exciting for us. Like the equivalent of Ty Gibbs versus Ty Dillon for us would be incredible to watch
Mhm.
because we're all out here just really having fun. So um, I love that it starts at Atlanta. I think that's so cool. Um, and that race is going to be on my birthday, which I'm very excited about. There was a time where
Everybody's like green too.
I would be so annoyed with a super speedway race on my birthday, but now I've kind of grown to like them. So,
Also, it's Atlanta, different animal.
yeah, for sure. Although,
It is cool that the 3 super speedways that we have they're all unique.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Talladega's wide, and I don't know if you know this or not, but the start finish line is actually not in the middle of the triangle at
Is
Talladega.
it
It's like all the way down, like where pit exit is. It's crazy.
really?
It's you'll see when we get there. It's wild.
Huh?
And then Atlanta used to be like Charlotte and Texas shaped
Right.
and very similar. And they turned it into whatever the hell it is now.
Yeah. And it hasn't aged like it has in real life. So,
hmm
um, unfortunate for us though, because it's on St. Patrick's Day. I believe the green walls are not there anymore.
What? I thought Echo Park's whole thing was green. They better have kept the
Well,
damn green around.
it was. I know in real life they changed it back to white. I can't remember if they changed it in iRacing. Oh,
Well,
NASCAR
I'm gonna
25, I
find out.
think it is white walls. So
That's horseshit.
yeah.
Never
Well,
mind.
it was
I'm
green because it was the Quaker State like sponsored race. So
we need to swap it with Kentucky. Kentucky still has green walls. I know that.
oh yeah, there you go. That would have been nice.
Yeah, right? Because
Wow.
that. Why the hell did Kentucky have green walls? They didn't have a Quaker State race, did they?
I think that's where it started, and then when they went away from Kentucky,
Oh,
they painted the walls at Atlanta green.
got it.
So
I'm peeking iRacing right now to see if they're quote unquote track photos, what colors the walls are. So I'll
okay,
report back.
okay, Roger that. But yeah, in season tournament. St. Patrick's Day race, so get your green paint schemes out. That would make me a very happy boy, even if I do bad in the race. And then we go to round two, which will go from what is it, 16 to 8, basically for Gateway, which is a 140 lap race, which is again a pretty long race. It seems like you guys went a little bit longer with the races this season.
A little bit, just a tad.
Yeah,
Some of them, yeah, and then some of them, got a little less. Like I said, I looked at Pocono when we did 91 laps there. I also said that's a bit too much, but
yeah,
80 laps, felt appropriate there. Atlanta, even though it's a mile and a half, we're all going to be freaking white knuckling it. I didn't want to put us at the same length as the other mile and a halfs. So I kind of had a nice happy medium between the mile and a halfs and
oh
the
yeah,
super speedways
that's a
and
good point.
ran a little.
110 laps at Atlanta is not very many, actually.
No, but the fact that we're going to be all up on the wheel, white knuckling it,
Yeah,
getting after it out there, I figure, hey, you know what? Let's ease off the laps a little bit, just
yeah,
make it easier for folks.
for sure.
But yeah, so Gateway round two, 140 laps. I believe 140 is. I think I stole that from the last time we raced there. I'm gonna double check myself on that, but I'm pretty sure that's just where I got that from. I don't think that was anything new. I think I always try to go back and check and make sure, I'm not doing something stupid based on our past,
Right.
races there.
Yeah,
Let's see here.
the last two races were 140
Yep.
laps.
Yep. 140 and 144. So yeah. So yeah, we're doing kind of what we've done in the past there, when it comes to Gateway.
Yeah, is one of your favorite tracks, I believe.
I do enjoy it a lot.
You and I had a really good battle there in the next gen. Um,
Yeah.
but it looks like the track we raced at for that race is retired in Sim Racer Hub, so I guess they rescanned it.
Oh,
Um,
you're right. I didn't even think of that.
so that'll be fun. That's a really fun track to try and figure out because obviously the corners are different, and I
And it's
wonder,
flat.
I wonder if we would be shifting in this car at that track. Maybe which one's tighter? One and two. I think it's tighter than three and four. I
Maybe like late in
wonder.
the run.
Yeah,
Maybe,
late in the run if you'd be shifting. Because I know in season 12 at Phoenix we started some people started shifting. So
yeah.
um,
That was
that'll
how I
be.
had a huge advantage at Pocono was shifting. No one else
Oh,
was
that's
shifting in
right.
turn one.
That's
I
right.
was the
Yeah.
only one doing
Yeah,
it,
I
and
didn't
I
figure
was
that out
really good in the
until
long run
the
there.
very end.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because I specifically remember trying not to downshift next to people so they didn't hear me doing it. So I would like wait if I was side by side with someone in the corner. I'd wait and just kind of let them get ahead, and then I'd do my downshift so they didn't hear me doing it and
Yeah.
figure out what I was doing. And I think someone figured it out eventually as the race went on, but I think it was too late for them to try to figure out how the car drives when you do it, and I still had the advantage there. But yeah, you're right. I think late in the run we could be seeing that at Gateway. I think more Gateway than New Hampshire. I don't think we'll see it at New Hampshire. I
Yeah,
think
New Hampshire
we'll
is
have a
tough because it's so flat, but Gateway you do get a little bit more banking.
little bit.
So yeah, that's a fun track to go back to. I'm excited for that one.
Be a good round two after we set the stage. Some good tight flat track racing.
Yeah, and it could be you know, if we get some of the heavy hitters knocked out at Atlanta, like you could see some elbows
Right?
out at Gateway for sure. I think that
Agreed.
sets up nicely. Um, and then for round three of the tournament, the Coca-Cola race, 150 laps. That's definitely longer than what it has been, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yep.
Which I
It's just
love.
trying to mirror the Coke 600, make it our longest race. And in the past, I think Talladega always winds up being the longest race, and
Yeah,
and Daytona as well because they're 2.5 mile tracks. We do a lot of race, do a lot of laps there, but it's different because we're flying around there the whole time. So as far as pure racing, Charlotte's is our longest for sure.
yeah, definitely. Oh, I'm trying to pull up the Charlotte. Okay, because it's they rescan that as well. Okay, so we've done
Yeah, there's
16 races at Charlotte. Good lord.
yeah, I think it's been every single season. I don't think we've never had a season without Charlotte.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because especially since it's free too.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it
it's
was big
it
early on.
150 laps is long, but it's not the longest we've done. We did a 167 lap race in season one.
Hmm.
And in season five there was a 170 lap race.
Jesus,
But
who'd have
other
thought made
than
that
that,
schedule?
season four was 169, so that was probably 167, and then an overtime. So
Hmm.
150 seems like a good number, and with the accelerated time in that one, it's going to feel like a little bit longer as well, I think.
Yeah, if my math is correct, I believe 167 got us to 250 miles, I
Yes,
think. And
that is
then,
right.
yeah, so I think we just determined that was a little too long in
Yeah,
the past. And then I went back to doing the 134, which was 200 miles. And then, um, yeah, so then I went to the 150, gave us 225. And
I
I
think
didn't adjust the
150
name. I
is
just realized that.
what's that?
I said I didn't adjust the name to match the new mileage, but it's okay. I don't care.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
225, or maybe it's
No,
different in
yeah, but
Sim Racer
yeah,
Hub.
no, but I called it the Coca Cola 200. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Um,
I'm
but I
stupid.
think 150 is gonna be good though because like, can you do 50 laps at Charlotte
Ooh, I think it's gonna
on
be.
a
I think
tank
it'll
of
be tough.
fuel? That
I think
seems like
mid
maybe not.
40s. I think 40.
I
I think
think
it's
mid
42,
40s.
43.
Yeah, so um, to
Three
split it
stop.
into three stops, it would be like 35 laps ish,
Yeah,
37. So you
yeah. Or
could
you run
see
one
some
long
guys
and then
run
shorten up the
long.
rest.
Yeah. So yeah, again, more like fun strategy stuff going on. Um, and then to finish off the in-season challenge, we go back to Richmond, which is an awesome track. I think
Yeah.
it's one of the few short tracks we can actually like have a decent race on.
Hmm. I think it's just like it's kind of like Iowa, but in my opinion, a little better, especially with new skin of Iowa. But
Yeah,
I've always
oh,
preferred
100%.
Richmond. It's smoother. There's like couple more lines that you can run there. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it's one of the best short tracks that we have that we can race.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
we've always had, we have some normal short track garbage happen there, but as far as the short tracks go, I think it's definitely one of the best um, for us
Yeah.
because there's room. It's not super heavy on the brakes. All that good stuff.
That being said, it is the final round of the tournament, so depending on who the two people are that are going for it, that could definitely influence how many yellow flags we get.
Yeah, but the last time we were there, season 12 was there's only 7 cautions in the race, and for us, 7 cautions is awesome.
I remember that race having a very long run in the middle of it, like 60 or 70 laps run. Like
Yeah, we were
it was
approaching pit stops, I think, right?
yeah. I mean,
Like green.
the car was a complete handful, and
Yeah,
that was in this car. So
yeah. So that'll be fun again, and I think we always race at Richmond in the night. It just feels right.
the last time it was in the day, which I think added to it, but I think the night is going
Hmm.
to be. I think the night is better.
Yeah,
Just more grip, right, for people.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
um, yeah, that
And
rounds
then our
out.
stretch to the finish.
Yeah,
Oof.
it's a good one. That rounds out the tournament. So hopefully we have a fun winner. Is there any sort of I can't remember from last season. Is there any sort of like prize or anything, or is it just
I think my intention is to it was like to come up with a trophy and just get names on it, but I haven't I've done a whole lot on that, but
sure
I think eventually that's the plan. Is if it sticks around, I think they didn't do anything with it mainly because I just wanted to see if people liked it, and if people were like that was fucking dumb, don't ever do it again, then what? I'm not gonna buy like a. But if people actually like it and we can keep doing it, then hell yeah, I'll definitely come up with something.
for sure?
So
I guess we can
yeah,
probably talk about this closer
we can
to the
run through
bracket,
these.
but
Yeah.
like, was there any discussion with? Because I know last season, like some people ended up having a bye race.
Hmm.
Is there any discussion around like if the guy doesn't show up, then the next guy moves in, or have y'all figured that
Yeah,
out?
I think there'll be some sort of an adjustment with that. I haven't I we haven't discussed anything like that, but like I have definitely thought it. I thought it last year and was trying to think of ways to just, kind of prevent against that. So I think
Yeah.
that as like you said, as we get closer, that'll be something to discuss as we start winding up wrapping up races 6 and 7 where the points are starting to kind of get finalized for that first little chunk. Um yeah, we'll see. There more news to come on that for sure because I agree. I think just bumping someone up who does show up, I think is the right thing to do there. And,
At
and
least for round one. Yeah.
mhm, yeah.
Um,
So
but yeah, you guys got 6 weeks to sort all that out. So
yeah.
moving on to this final stretch of the season, going to Auto Club, we kind of already talked about it, but
Hmm.
the Amazon Fulfillment Center 218, which is probably the best named race of the season.
Yeah. I
I
was
think that's
I was
great.
I was proud. I was trying to look up what the fulfillment center number was. Like I might have gotten flagged because I was digging so deep trying to find it. They were probably thinking I was trying to like bomb the place or something, but
Right.
I wasn't. Get it on record. But yeah, I was because I was like, oh man, if this is like fulfillment number, 220 or something reasonable, like it'd be hilarious to just
Yeah.
actually get the lap numbers to match the number of the freaking building that it was.
Yeah, 87 laps. How did you land on 87?
Uh, I think that's again based on past history. I think racing
Okay.
there. I think we've done 89 and 90, and then I think it was just a random number. Let's see. In the past, we've done over 90 on all of them, and I think last season with Michigan, I think it was around that 89 number. So I think I just try to keep it around that.
Okay.
I
That
think, yeah,
seems like a two stop to me. I
yes,
don't
I
think you
agree.
could go 40. Well,
Actually, we had
44
110 laps there
laps.
last. So yeah, I think mainly just a matter of not having a long night.
Sure. Could you
you
go
know,
44 laps at Auto Club to make it a one stop? I don't know.
well, that'd be tough.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be tough because I mean we're talking about possibly going 44 laps at Charlotte. You add another half a mile to the track.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no
yeah.
way. Yeah, so that's probably a two stop. That'll be a good one. And then we got the second road course race, the Watkins Glen race, which is always a fan favorite. To me, that's like one of the crown jewels. Not because I love road courses, but just because it usually gets a pretty good turnout, and I think people generally really like Watkins Glen.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
People don't really love the road courses around here so much, but Watkins Glen is kind of its own thing.
yeah, I think yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's always a classic, always a good time. Um and it's the one that people are the most familiar with. I think we had a big turnout of cars last year, if I remember correctly. Like because the people just, people know Watkins Glen so well that people show up for it. So it was
Yeah, it's usually one of our better races attendance wise, and um, yeah, no, yeah, like you said, I mean, people are just familiar with it. They know the track and they know about where they're at. I feel like there's always like pretty good racing there as well. At the front of the field, it gets tough with like at the front of the field, like at the peak level of driving around that track, it is actually really hard to pass. Um,
Oh, absolutely. There's only
because
one or two spots, maybe, right?
yeah, the only way you can really pass there is if the guy like makes a mistake. And even if he does, like in turn one, if you slide coming out of the corner or something, it's so hard to get side by side up the S's. So you really have to time the run like to get basically past them into the bus stop.
It's also terrifying to go side by side through the S's
Yeah, and then not to mention
in
the
these
bus stop
cars.
too, because
Yeah.
um, you never really know like where the other guy's gonna be if he's gonna like back out or stay in it.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's a pretty uncomfortable entry into the bus stop there. It's, that wall on the right
oh
is
yeah, since
tight
they
and
changed
there's
it,
not
yeah,
much room to
it's
the left. Yeah, it is very uncomfortable sometimes if you're side by side with someone. So someone's got to chicken out or else you're going to have good luck.
yeah. Um, so yeah, that's Watkins Glen. Then we go to Vegas. Vegas is later in the season. This time, I think it's usually
Hmm.
been sort of in the
Early
front
on.
half, but yeah, that'll be a good one. Daytime race at Vegas, 125 laps. That one,
I can already tell you it's going to be hot.
yeah, I was
Just
gonna
go ahead
say
and
that
plan for
seems
that.
like it's gonna be hot.
I mean, I feel like it's just environment fitting. It's always hot in Vegas anyway, so and especially in the summertime, and we're quote unquote racing this. I think I set the Clash or maybe the first race for like June 1st of this. So it's we're summertime racing,
Right.
so it's going to be hot where it should be, essentially.
I mean, I think
And
that adds so much to the racing. Like, I know like some people, well, I'll just say like Jack is always preaching about hot
one people,
races.
yeah.
Yeah. And like at first I'm like, yeah, okay, like, how much does that really change? But um when we did that recruitment race at Charlotte, it was steaming and
Oh
the
yeah,
car was so much more fun to drive. Not to
yeah.
mention over a long run, like that's going to change so much.
Hmm.
The people that hang back and save their tires are really going to get rewarded later in the run, and
That's me.
yeah, so that'll be fun to see, especially at a track like Vegas. Vegas, I feel like really eats up tires depending on how you run the race. So um,
Just another way to prove that I have no, bias of making the schedule to benefit myself is that I love hot races, especially in this car and
yeah,
any car where you have to manage the car and save tire and go long in these hot. Like I'm here for it, and I'm the best at it. Well, not the best. Like that's the best of me is having to do that.
right,
Like that's my strength. So I'm pumped for it. You know, because it has been a while since we've had some, kind of more challenging conditions to race in. I think a lot of that was me maybe setting them up just to try and take it easy on people because a lot of times we're learning new cars, but now we're in something that we know and that we've
yeah,
done recently. So fuck it, let's have some fun, right? Let's challenge everybody.
yeah. And to be fair, with the cooler temperatures, the Gen 4 still was a handful.
Exactly.
So I can't imagine if the track was a lot hotter, those races would have been probably a lot more caution heavy. But um, yeah, moving on from Vegas, next is Bristol. First time going back to Bristol since season
12.
13, so a season. Or no, 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 yeah, yeah, season
Yeah,
12, a
12, 12,
season
12.
off.
It
Um,
has season off.
yeah, and the last time was in Xfinity. That race I felt like didn't go too bad. Um,
I don't think it did either. I think that's another reason why I picked Bristol because, oddly enough, for how small it is, it's one of the ones that we can race pretty well, and that we
hmm
do. It had 13 cautions, so not
Not too great,
nothing
but
nothing too crazy, but it is the
not
first
too
time that we're
bad.
gonna run. It's the first time we're gonna run 200 laps there since season 6, so that's kind of exciting. I
Okay.
figured that one, it's always one of the higher lap ones in real life. And I mean, we did 154 in season 12, and 90 lap. That's got to be an all-star race. So
Yeah.
180. So we've done 181, 200, and then when we did it originally, season 2, 3, and 4, 200, 206, 203. So those are obviously the last two are overtime races. But so we've done about 200 laps here in the past. Try not to make every week go too late, but some of them, we're gonna have longer races just because
Yeah,
that's kind of what the race is, right?
the season 6 race, Owen lapped everyone except for 3 people. Um, and that was the 200 lap race. Um,
Jesus.
Now I will say it looks like a lot of these people got crashed out pretty early on. Because some people were like 4, 5, and 6 laps down. And then
That
I
was me.
remember, yeah, the last run of the race I think was like probably 70 or 80 laps, and Owen was just in a whole nother league. Although Donnelly was only 2 seconds behind, so maybe he had lapped everybody, and then there was a late restart. Um,
Strong there, man.
yeah, I mean, name a track that Owen isn't super strong at, honestly.
Daytona.
Yeah, and I was gonna say maybe Vegas,
He'll
but
agree with
that's
me.
really only because of the pit road, and he won the last race of Vegas, so
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
he's
And
good
he's
everywhere.
won a Daytona recently too. So
Yeah. Um, More breaking news on the podcast. Owen's good.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Bristol, and then the last 4 races. I mean, really, this last 5 race thing is like just really the last 7. I mean, the last half of the season is like an all-star game of racetracks. I feel like.
Yeah, that was where I tried to put a lot of the recurring ones. A lot of the
Yeah.
regulars I wanted to, so we're finishing on when it matters the most, it's places that we've been to, people are familiar with. That was kind of the theory behind that. And I think really the only new one on that second half of the schedule is what, Bristol, I think.
Yeah.
That's really kind of it. Auto Club, I guess. But yeah, like other than that, I tried to keep it, a lot of the places that we've been before.
Yeah. Talladega's up next. 89 laps. Hopefully, iRacing doesn't fuck with the drafting package, but assuming that
Not too
doesn't
much
happen.
needs to be said about Dega. We know it's
Yeah.
just it's awesome. That's what it is every time, except for the Gen 4 race.
And depending on how the points battle goes, like you know, that obviously we'll see throughout the season. But having Bristol and Talladega right at the end is going to be so nerve wracking um, for those who are like trying to win the championship for sure. Because I know the last basically the last 3 or 4 seasons I've been up there towards the top or at the top, and like going towards the bottom of the season and you see Talladega there, it's like, well, I think I'm doing pretty good, but it really all depends on how Talladega goes. Like,
Yeah, I have to survive this.
yeah, I
Like
need
this
just
is
like a solid top 5-ish run there.
yeah,
And that's a lot to ask for, really, at Talladega. I mean, you seriously never have any idea how that's going to go. So,
yeah.
um,
And then like you said about nerve wracking too. I mean, Bristol, it's so small
yeah,
that people the traffic actually comes into play there sometimes. We don't even have to get too long of a run for traffic to start being a thing. So um both of those races are going to be tough for the guys who are, obviously you would assume that the guys who are up top in the points are up front in the races. So it's going to be really
yeah,
important for them to one navigate traffic at Bristol and survive that, and then head straight to Talladega and survive that and try to score some points. So, um, you know, love that little stretch there back to back.
yeah. Because if the points leader has a problem at Bristol and or Talladega, then it sets up a really nice 3 race run to like have a good battle. And then if
Yeah,
they get through it unscathed, sort of with a top 5 or whatever, then that sort of will make them feel a lot safer going into these last 3. But yeah, I love that Talladega has been late in the season because it really does like the championship's never locked up until you get out of Talladega for
yes,
sure.
correct. I completely agree.
And then after Talladega, we got the Southern 200 at Darlington, the Chase Tech Southern 200. Um, Throwing it back to the roots of the league.
Yeah, so that was an idea of your own actually.
Yeah.
To make our throwback race kind of like a an annual thing and have a little identity to it. So when you started things off, we were the Chase Tech series,
Yes.
which is crazy.
With a
That
with
was the C in
a
CRS. That was
a poorly photoshopped Xfinity logo with the Chase Tech logo on it.
Yeah, I tried to include that on the schedule in the same way that I put like Travis's little logo on the schedule for his race, but that thing was it's just kind of like a blob.
Yeah,
So
a bit.
so I just kind of got that out of there. But yeah, so going forward, anytime, I don't want to say that I don't want to call it the lock in the Chase Tech Southern 200, but I want to just say that anytime you see that logo now, the Chase Tech race, that is our throwback race, and
Yes.
in a
Oh,
way to
like it
pay
could be at a
homage
different
to
track.
exactly. If it moves to a different track, regardless, that's going to be throwback night. Like
Cool.
that's always going to be. Anytime you see the Chase Tech race, that's our throwback night. And obviously, we'll remind people as we get there. But yeah, that's kind of the intention with that.
Yeah, and I got my dad on board to send some merch every season to whoever wins that
Oh,
race. So
that's sick.
yeah,
That's pretty
they have
cool.
like hats and shirts and koozies and stuff. So whoever wins that race, you get a new koozie or a hat or
Yeah,
something. So
I gotta start practicing. Oh, never mind. I'm good at Darlington.
yeah, there you go. And that again is going to be one of those accelerated time races. So that'll be a lot of
Hmm.
fun as well. Um,
Yeah, it's the evening is gonna kind of really make that fun.
yeah, I think the beginning of that race will be where it's won and lost when the sun is out. That's where you're going to kind of position yourself
Set yourself up for
to be in a position to finish well in the night. It is going to depend how you run in the day. And that was a really poorly constructed sentence, but I think I got the point across.
yeah,
Um,
no, yeah, you got it.
yeah. Then moving on, our final two races, two tracks that have been the finale in the past two seasons, Kansas and Homestead. Um,
I wish I could say I did some of this shit on purpose, but I really didn't.
yeah.
It was a total
I
accident.
believe season 12 was Kansas finale, and then last season was Homestead. So, um, I guess we can kind of lump these together because we know about these tracks. But I think
Yeah,
Homestead is like it's the finale, right?
yeah, it's everything.
It is when you think of Homestead, it's the final race of whatever you're doing, um, because it just was forever, and now it is again in real life. So, um, that's a great like three race stretch to close out the season, as well as that's going to be a sunset race. So we'll be racing into the
Hmm.
sunset of the season. So
In true fashion of the NASCAR Championship race,
yes,
where it should be. Yes,
so yeah,
yes. That's
that's our
season
season.
preview.
Yeah, season preview. What do we got next?
I think other than that, the only last little bit that I wanted to have, a little discussion with you here is just some, let's make some predictions. We're about to do our first race next week, and I just had a couple things that I wanted to pick your brain on and see what you thought. So, let's see, I'm going to skip over that first little bit there, but I did highlight on here that just want to briefly scan over. I think again we're gonna have another really good battle at the top of the points as well as in the middle. The points, the new point structure seemed to work out really well last season
Yeah,
and kind of create some really good battles, not just at the top but through the midfield. It went down to Christian and I in the last race, battling for fifth. There were guys below that battling for eighth, ninth. So and so's trying to get this many points over so and so. So. Um, I think I look forward to another one of that. And what I really wanted from you was I want to get some bold predictions for you. I got two bold predictions I want you to make for the
okay,
season, and I'll make them with you.
let's do
All
it.
right. So the first one, actually, the first one's kind of a two-parter. So I want, in your opinion, what you think will be the best race overall, and then also out of those nine new tracks that we talked about, which one are you thinking is going to be the best that comes back with how we race now and the car that we're driving?
The best race, like in my opinion, of what makes a good race.
Yeah, like what I'm sorry,
Okay,
what will be the best racing? What will be the best racing product? What will be, what will provide a I guess yeah, in your opinion, whatever you consider a good race, what do you think is going to provide that for us? What race
okay.
track?
So I'm gonna exclude Road America because that's probably my answer. But
Okay.
if we're just talking about ovals, probably because that's what people want to hear. Um, I'm probably leaning towards Charlotte.
Okay.
With
I like it.
yeah, I mean that track is just awesome, and there's different grooves, and we got the sunset as well. So yeah, that would probably be my answer for the mainstays, and then of the new tracks.
You can say Road America if you'd like. If you can't think of anything else, I'll accept Road America because that is a new track and that is exciting.
Yeah, I think I do have high hopes for Kentucky in this car.
Okay.
I think the next gen race was good there. This car, although it's going to be at night, that might kind of hurt like passing and stuff potentially. Um, yeah, you know what? I'll go Road America. I think that's
I
going to
like it.
be. I think that'll be a good battle at the top, at the front as well, because you would think at least Joe, maybe Dan will be there too.
Hmm.
Um, Jared's really good at that track. Does he make a comeback for
Hmm.
that race? Owen is obviously always good at road courses. Myself,
Yeah.
so that could be a legitimate like heavyweight fight at the top. And you have to think if Joe and Dan do end up racing there, they'll probably put in a significant amount of practice too. So
Yeah, they'll contend for sure. And then also, the guys who we might not consider like really good road course guys, but are still solid. Brandon Combs, great
yeah, that's
on the
another one.
road
Yeah,
courses. Jack got together, and got it together and started racing really great on him after not having like a ton of experience on him. I don't think prior, like, or not being super comfortable with him, he got pretty good pretty quick at him. So
yeah, for sure.
shocking news there. But so those two guys as well could be either right with you guys or just hanging right behind you, waiting for you heavy hitters to take each other out. So um,
Yeah, I mean, just
a lot of
the lap at Road America is such an adventure. I mean, it's such a
yes.
long lap. So
Talk about a lot of passing zones.
yeah,
Unlike Watkins Glen, there's just about every damn corner there's a good opportunity to pass somebody.
and with such a, I mean, I say a short race in terms of laps. Like,
Hmm.
I don't think it'll be very easy to separate yourself there. And then also with the caution, obviously last season we didn't see any cautions in the race. So
Hmm.
statistically, you would think at least one of these will have them. So if that sets up for like a 10 lap shootout at the end or something, that can be um, that'll be very spicy indeed. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll say Charlotte and Road America. What are yours?
Okay. So for my the ones are that we normally have, I will be very biased to the fact that I missed Dover last season. So I'm very excited to go to Dover, one of
Yeah.
my strongest tracks. It doesn't matter what car I get in. I seem to run pretty well there. So that's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most is just getting a chance to go back to Dover. Like I said, I missed it last year. I was away at the wedding, so I didn't have a chance to race my favorite slash home
In
track.
season
So
12, I think you like were in a position to win, and then we had a bunch of race control cautions,
that's
which kind
correct.
of ruined that. So that's
Yeah.
obviously not a thing anymore. And that was in this
Yeah.
car,
Well,
is why I bring it up.
I'm gonna yeah, it was that and the truck were the last two races that I felt like I did really well there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I always feel strong when we go to that track. So I'm very biased, but I'm looking forward to Dover. And then as far as the new tracks go, coming back, it's a little bit of like a tie for me between going back to New Atlanta because that's just fun. That
Yeah, that
place
will
is
be
just kind of
exciting at
crazy,
least.
and the fact that it hasn't worn like you said, like it has in real life, it still is pretty racy, but it's not like really, it's not Talladega, Daytona Super Speedway racy. It's got its own, it's unique. So I'm looking forward to that as well as it's a tie with Auto Club because I love that place. Rest in peace to a goat, man. I love that track
Yeah,
so
I kind of
much.
forgot about that one. That is going to be a good one,
There's
especially if
just
it's
a
going to be hot, which it seems like it is.
Yeah, there's an art to just driving that track and to being fast there and momentum and tire saving. The place eats tires up. It's got like probably the roughest surface in the game, I would think. Outside of obviously like old Atlanta, but like it's got to be right up there with old Atlanta as far as
I
oldest,
would think
roughest
so. Yeah,
surface.
maybe Darlington, but
Um,
those three are
yeah, like
yeah.
so I'm looking forward to get out there and then doing that. So that wraps up question one. The last one is one we ask all the time,
Mm.
which is who do you have this season as a potential new winner or someone who hasn't won in a while? Could be either one of those, but do you have someone who you think, looking at the schedule, knowing how the last couple seasons have gone, who do you think? We got a couple new guys who are, potential. We got a three-man rookie of the season race. I mean, that's crazy.
Who are our three rookies? Johnny Brugg,
Yep. We have
Ryan, what's his last
Ryan
name?
Maxon,
Maxon, and then
Maxon,
the other
and then
guy
Josh
wasn't in there.
Porsche.
Okay, yeah,
No, he didn't make it last night, but Josh and I did we did the 24-hour together with Travis and BC.
yeah,
Um, and he's interested. BC's, I guess we don't we're not that annoying because BC's been telling his friends about us. So,
there you go.
but yeah, so those three guys. But yeah, who you have as maybe like a first time winner? Could we see a first time winner to Super Speedway out of our guys who've been here for a while, or the new guys, or do you see someone winning the race that hasn't won in a while? Maybe not Super Speedway related,
Well, I think the easy answer is we obviously haven't seen him race that much, but Johnny Brugg did go out and win the recruitment race,
Mm-hmm.
and he seemed
That's
pretty
kind of what my
fast.
thought was.
So
Yep.
I think that's probably the easy answer, first time winner. Although like people that haven't won in a while, I mean, Cody has improved a lot over the last couple of
He
seasons.
has. I
Um,
could see him taking one of these super speedway races.
yeah, for sure. I think you like have had such bad luck the past few seasons when you're running well. So
Yeah.
if you can just like not have the bad luck happen, I think you definitely could snag one.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, there's a lot of good tracks for you, like Dover, Gateway. Um, and I mean, yeah, you're good at tire saving too. So if these runs go long enough,
Yeah.
that could definitely happen. Also, I think it's been a while since Austin's won.
I think you're right,
I
actually. It's
think his
been
last win was the finale of season 11. I don't think he
a couple.
won in the Xfinity car or Gen 4. So, um, Austin obviously has a certain driving style that can be really rewarding in certain situations.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if those situations present themselves, he can definitely go up there and get up on the wheel and go steal one. So I would really love to see a Zach Roten win at a super speedway or something. But
That's my Daytona pick. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
That's my Sedlow pick. Is he's been close before,
he has.
and I know he freaking wants it, man. Like
Yeah,
he's so he's been close before, and I think I think he could do it, man.
he also, like Cody, has improved a lot on like the regular ovals too. So
Oh,
um,
absolutely.
if you get a different strategy call or something, he gets shuffled up to the front, late race restart or something. I mean,
Hmm.
you never know. But
You were correct, by the way. Austin's last win was season 11, race 19, Charlotte. That was
yes.
his most recent win. So that was December 17th, 2024. So it's been a little while.
Oh wow, yeah, basically a little over a year. Yeah.
Hmm.
That was the race that Cody led almost the last like 30 laps, and Austin brought out the caution on accident, and then ended up winning. But I remember
My
Cody being pretty salty about that.
my sneaky picks is like I just said. I got Roden at one of these super speedways. Um, I think another possible super speedway threat that I learned last night. Didn't know that this guy was pretty good at these. I remember him being aggressive last season at them, but last night it was less aggression and more really solid driving, and that was Devin who finished in second. I think
Yeah,
Devin could steal one of these as well. Um, and then, like you said as well, Johnny, I mean, I know that I eyeballed his I rating when he was in the session. I know he's not too bad in the public sessions. I feel like he's going to come in. I honestly feel like he's going to come in, and it might take a race or two, but I feel like he'll be in contention for some of these races. Um, almost in the same kind of manner we saw Jack do it, where it didn't take much time for him to get up front and get
yeah,
contending for wins. I think Johnny can have that in him, man. What we saw at Charlotte was pretty good. He had a little bit of a tough race last night, but he also locked up outside poles, so he probably wasn't too worried about racing as much. So it'll be fun to see how Daytona goes, and then I think from then on out, once we get to kind of the meat and potatoes of the season, I think he'll get up there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I we obviously don't know much about him or anything.
Mhm.
Like in terms of experience, you said like with the official sessions and whatnot. I don't know how much he's done like league racing and stuff, but the longer races is a thing to get adapted to. So obviously the official sessions are like maybe a pit stop,
Mhm.
probably more like zero pit stops. So um, that'll be a thing to adapt to. But I'm sure you know if he has a lot of experience in iRacing, which it seems like he does, he'll get on top of it
Yeah, he's
pretty
pretty
quickly.
good in all of his season races, his other league races. So I think
Oh, he has done
uh
other league racing.
oh yeah, on Sim Racer Hub, he's got 99 wins and 356 starts. So get
Oh
ready,
wow,
boys. I think he has some
yeah.
competition.
Well, there you go. Everything I just said
Because
is out then.
yeah, I think you guys might have some competition pretty quick. So that's exciting.
Yeah, another guy we didn't mention. I just looked it up. His last win was September 3rd of 2024. Is freaking Donnelly, dude. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's been a while, and he obviously has the speed and stuff. I feel like the Gen 4 maybe didn't super like suit his style or something, but
No, he's much better in this car for sure.
yeah. So I,
He's
I
always
think
been good in this car.
Donnelly can definitely at certain tracks he shows up and it's like wow,
Yeah.
where'd this guy come from?
I wonder
So
if I get to be neck and neck in points with him the entire season again,
I'm sure that
and
will
in every
happen.
single race, and every single moment of every single race.
What we really
Uh,
need is Donnelly versus Ben at Richmond for the bracket challenge.
let's set it up, make it happen.
Yeah, although
Mhm.
with how things happen, you guys will probably go up against each other in round one,
Round
if
one,
if we're
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
I think that's all I got. I think that
Okay.
was it. I think we covered a lot. I mean, we took about 90 minutes here to doing this, so
Yeah. I mean,
I think we
just
crushed it.
points battle like season 14 championship guys. I mean, who do you have?
I think it's the usual suspects up there. I think it's Jack, yourself, Owen. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of Dylan this year. He hasn't moved his rig just yet, so
Okay.
he's probably gonna be part time. So I don't know that he'll contend. Obviously, he would if he was there. Um, and then again, I think watch out for Johnny, and we'll see what happens there. But
Yeah, that'll be
um,
interesting for
you
sure.
know, I think after he's had enough time here now. I think if I had to place a way too early championship bet, it would probably be on Combs, man.
Oh wow.
It was yeah, I like him this season. I don't know why. He was good as shit in this car last time, and he was still trying to like figure it out. And half the tracks we went to, he said he didn't even own until 10 minutes before the race. So
Yeah. Combs
the
is
fact that
is is a good
he's had some
shout.
time now, yeah, the fact that he's had some time now and it, and can get around, I know that it seems like I think he hates every car that he drives, and I don't know if that just like fuels like him wanting to win in them even more, like Kyle Busch in the car tomorrow type situation there.
Right.
But but yeah, yeah, that's my way too early pick there.
Yeah,
Just
I mean Combs has like since season 11 just been getting better and better really at
hmm
the pavement racing. I mean, we know how good he is on dirt, but
oh yeah.
um like yeah, he has been getting a lot better. And I think I want to say
In every aspect too,
he's
road
been
courses,
doing a
speedway.
league in this car like over the winter, I want to say.
You're right.
Yeah, so
I believe you're right.
that just goes more towards him. So he's been kind of like on the fringes of the championship battle the last two seasons. So
Yep.
if he can just
And
get
I
a
think
good
with
start, really, with points.
exactly, and I think with with Dylan being part time, that opens up the door for him to kind of slide right in that top four there with you, Jack, and Owen.
Yeah.
And I think that yeah, I think that'll be fun. And then just looking at the rest of the field, you know, uh, Judd off his sabbatical, he's going to try and come back and hopefully have a much better season than he's
Okay.
had
I was
the
wondering
last
about
couple
that.
times he's gotten out here. He had a rough go at it the last couple times that led to the sabbatical. Fortunately, he has some cool sponsors who allowed him to do so and still
Mm,
support him. So,
mm,
shout out to Pilot and Flying J. They're loyal, man. They're they take care of their people. So,
absolutely.
um, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's
Judd.
Joe be back. Christian's gonna be solid. He's always good in this car, especially he's another one that you talk about me in these hot races with tire saving. Christian is also very good at that stuff.
Yeah,
It could
underrated,
be like a
I
sneaky
would
pick for
say.
yeah, it could be a very sneaky pick for some of those races when it comes to having to manage and tire save. And he's always one too that could just pull a fuel strategy out of his ass, and all of a sudden Christian one stopped a race that nobody else did.
Yeah,
And if he didn't win it, he still finished like top three, and it paid off. So he does that more than anybody, I think. So um, with the conditions and everything of this season coming up and some of the timing of these races, that could play into his favor for sure.
that's one thing I think that's really cool about the state of this league. Like, obviously, we talk about like wanting more parity and stuff, but everybody's gotten so good that like a top five in a race feels really good.
Hmm.
Because
It is
it
very
is
rewarding.
really hard, even for the top guys, to finish in the top five at times, depending on like how strategy and stuff goes. So, um, yeah, I think we're in a great spot in terms of like competition in general.
Completely agree. I look forward to it. I think it's at the point where it is truly like throughout the field, because even though if there may have been a disconnect between the midfield and some of the slower guys like 5 or 6 seasons ago, those guys are better now, and that
Yeah,
disconnect is smaller. And at least if there is still a quote unquote like a backpack, like the slower guys, they're all racing each other now. It's not like anybody's falling way back. Like you're having 3 4 cars at the back of the pack that are mixing it up, and so it truly is just good racing all throughout because we've all improved so much. So
yeah,
to our new guys out there that's listening, I take pride in that everybody that's joined this league has gotten better,
definitely,
uh,
no
for the
doubt.
most part. And I think that's something we can hang our hat on and say that the competition in this league makes people better, whether you're familiar with oval racing or not. Like we've seen guys who don't even oval race that much come in here and figure it out and get better at it and compete. So um, I,
Definitely.
I I think it's awesome.
Last thing before we go here, unless you have more.
Mhm.
Season 12, last time we did this car, there was 6 winners over the season.
Okay.
Um, one of them was Travis at Daytona. So I'll give it to you like this: over under 5.5 winners for the season.
Hmm.
I feel like that's a really good line.
See, so there's 6 different winners.
Yeah, the other 5 winners other than Travis were Brandon, who had one, um,
Hmm.
Owen had two, Dylan had five, I had three, and Jack had seven.
Hmm.
So the main winners kind of the season were Jack, Dylan, myself, and Owen. Brandon got one. He probably should have had two or three.
You said 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5.
I'm gonna put it right at. I think I'm gonna take the under because my brain says 5.
Yeah, I think I'm
So
actually kind of with you
yeah, my brain tells me 5.
because you
Um.
think probably
Then again, we
Jack,
got
me,
another
and
super
Owen.
speedway in there.
Jack, me, Owen, and Brandon will probably get one.
The odds of the odds are stacked against you guys, the super speedways, when it comes to counting this number, because there's only a couple of you and a lot of us at Talladega, Daytona, and Atlanta. Where
That's true,
you know
actually. If
you know what I mean?
and you're taking Dylan out of it too, so you have like
Yeah,
Jack, me, Owen, and Brandon. That's four, and then you're saying there's only going to be one more to make five.
yeah,
Like so, I could have the over with that actually, with the 3 super speedways.
yeah. You know what? 6 is a better number.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think I'd have the over on that. 5.5.
Yeah, we were running the next gen car in this schedule. I'd put it at 8.5.
Yeah, true.
you know, but
Yeah,
yeah, but
maybe next
um,
season.
fun facts. So the fun facts of the day to leave you on is that obviously our best performing Xfinity driver in our league's history is Owen.
Yeah.
Uh, 3,982 laps led.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, he's only had to pass 6. Judd and I are up there with him when it comes to 75 plus starts, and Judd has 819 total passes. I have 854 total passes in this car. Owens only had to pass 630 people, and he still led 3,000 laps out of the 9,000 that he's ran there. He's ran 9,182 and led 3,982 of them. So he's led 43% of the laps that he's done in this car. So I think even though he's been a little quiet, he's going to miss Daytona, I think, and maybe Kentucky because he's house sitting in Wisconsin. He's snowed
Okay.
in, but when he comes back, it's just can never write that guy off in this car.
That is a good point. If he's gonna miss a couple, I'm gonna miss at least one, and then I'm moving mid-season. So I'm moving the week before Road Atlanta, or Road America. So I really hope we get the Wi-Fi set up and everything for that, because that would be a tragedy for my season.
Right. You can just get out ahead of everybody on your hotspot, and you won't have to worry about anybody dealing with blinks because they won't be around you, right?
I hope I'm fast enough to do that, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It seems like the Xfinity car is probably my worst road course stock car for some reason. I don't know why, but um, anyways, yeah. I mean, with that all happening, also like I think Jack will be here for most of them, but
I think so too.
his like work, like maybe some of the longer races he wouldn't. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
He might time it up with those drop weeks. He's too competitive to miss more than the three.
that's true. But if like all
Mhm.
of us have a fair amount of drops, like that could bring some other people into it as well. So
Absolutely.
that could set up like for your pick for Brandon as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything for our welcome back episode. Um,
I agree. I think it's dinner time.
yeah, we're back. We'll have some
So
NASCAR and
back.
some F1 chat as we get closer to those seasons. Um, I feel like we might have to do like separate episodes for those this year, because like we get we get long winded, don't we? I mean, this
A
was an
little
hour
bit.
and a half. Like if we had to cover
Yeah.
NASCAR too, that'd be crazy. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll talk about that. But
Maybe we do those like special weekend episodes. We can just
yeah,
get a case of beer and talk about NASCAR.
yeah, like right after the race or something, like the teardown.
Yeah.
That would be because I've usually had a fair amount of beers during the race too, so that would actually be probably pretty entertaining.
It'd be like the teardown with no Jordan Bianchi's in it. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the podcast I want. It's Jeff.
uh, yeah, just Jeff, two Jeffs.
Just Jeff. Yeah, just two. Yeah, I'd rather Jeff alone than have to listen to that guy.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching. Welcome back to season 14. Hopefully you tune in for most or if not all the episodes. Look forward to seeing you on the track, and we'll talk to you next week. See you.
Yeah. Peace.